let's get into sad news, man. We gotta go over some sad news here. But Bungie, and again, this would have been what I would talk about yesterday. The memes were going crazy, they sure were. But Bungie laid off 220 people. Now, this wasn't the first layoff that they have done. They did another layoff earlier. So on Wednesday morning, they announced more layoffs. And again, 220 people got let go. 155 people moved to Sony, and 75 people moved to a new studio. So not everybody got let go. Some people at least were able to just transition over, which is good. So at least it's not just 220 people flat got let go. But it still sucks. It still sucks. They said what is not initially known was what the specific teams or areas that were impacted. And the CEO said that these actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. So that was very interesting there, because usually when these layoffs happen, the executive roles generally don't get touched. Those are the main people that, when you do these types of layoffs for cash reasons, they are the ones that benefit the most. So it's very interesting. He said that the executive level and senior leadership roles were also affected. The some of the levels Inside Gaming has learned include quality control, player support, and developers focus on art, sound, music, and more. And some areas have been hit more than others. One person said that my whole team is gone, player support analyst. And somebody else said, and I'm affected, a Bungie merchandise employee. And they said, I'm so sick and tired of these layoffs. I am too. It sucks to continue to talk about this stuff. They unionize. Another person said, nothing I could have done to not be laid off. In fact, I was literally working so much that so many people told me, you'll be okay. We need you to train / manage the outsourcers. And it's the person, Nadia, said that. And they worked on the music for Bungie. Steve Parson on Fraud Watch. Yeah. A lot of people were upset. Tons of people were upset at him. I saw a tweet that listed all of the cars that he bought on auction. All of the cars that he bought on auction. So it's crazy. As far as any senior leadership and executive role inside game is just to confirm any have been let go. That would be crazy if that was a lie. So it sucks, man. It sucks. We're going through more layoffs. It doesn't matter what company, big or small. Like every level of the video game industry is suffering layoffs, and I'm sick and tired of it as well. I don't want to have to keep reporting on this stuff. It is super annoying, to constantly have to talk about this. Well, another studio laid on more people. I'm like, I don't even know how indie studio is surviving when y'all let so many people go. I don't even know how any company is surviving after all of this, dog. The economy in general is tanking. Yeah, it really is. Like I said, it's sad. And then more new. Actually, we'll talk about this one first. But Intel, they're going to lay off 15,000 employees. 15K. That's just insane. I don't know how many people in total work at Intel, but 15,000, that is a lot of people who will no longer have a job. So to continue with this article, Intel is reportedly going to lay off 15,000 employees as the company makes drastic cuts. Drastic is an understatement. Like, dang. The company announced it will be seeking $10 billion in savings for 2025, which will lead to the layoffs of a large quantity of staff members. The CEO, Pat Gelsinger, revealed the news of the layoffs earlier today to his staff as the company is gearing up to make the cuts. And it said with competitors such as Nvidia on the market, which I heard Nvidia, they making some bank, boy. I don't know what's going on with those stocks, boy. Some stocks are hidden. Intel has decided to introduce a massive cost-saving plan. Again, that's your cost-saving plan. What do y'all need cost savings for? When I hear cost savings or when I see cost savings, That just means, hey, whoever is an executive, who's on the board, who's a CEO, yeah, hey, I just want some more money in my pocket. We aren't making as big of a profit as I thought that we were going to make. So let's go ahead and let these people go so that we can get their salaries. Whatever salaries that we were paying them is going to go back in our own pockets. Like, let's cut the bullshit. That's what always happen. A cost-saving plan that involves 15,000 people losing their jobs. That is insane. 15,000 people losing their job. Look at this. Look at this smug guy here. Look at this guy. Look at Pat. Pat looks like a very happy guy here, doesn't he? He doesn't look like he did anything wrong. When they let go of these 15,000 people, he's still going to be smiling. He's not really hurt. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about you. Just go out there on the streets, man. We need more money in our pockets. You didn't make enough. You didn't make enough for my company. Therefore, we're going to let you go, and we're just going to absorb your salary from myself and whoever else is on the board. That's what always happened. We've seen this crap with Warner Brothers, how much they made for their bonuses for doing such a shitty job. I'm sorry, you cannot continue to blame middle management. You cannot continue to blame the people at the bottom for whatever that you were going through, whatever crappy decision that you made that caused you to not make the profits, the expectations, hit those goals that you wanted to hit. I'm sorry. That's not how life works. And I'm tired of these big companies using that as an excuse. Oh, because we didn't hit our expectations, that it's y'all fault. That it's everybody else's fault. It's the little man's fault. It's not our fault. We're not going to hold ourselves accountable. You're not going to fire yourself, even though I wish you would, but you're not going to fire yourself. You're going to just fire everybody else. Terrible, bro. It's terrible. So, So they said while competitors such as Nvidia on the market, Intel decided to introduce mass cost saving plan, and then this year Nvidia was declared the world's most profitable company. That's crazy. Like I said, Nvidia is cooking, boy. Nvidia was declared the world, Craig, most profitable company as Intel missed its growth targets. It's that when you focus too much on the numbers, then you really become less of a human. To be honest, you really become less of a human, focusing too hard on these damn numbers instead of just trying to make better decisions so that you can have a better business. It's not like Intel is struggling. I don't think that any of these big companies are struggling. It's just because whatever crazy expectation that you set 4 years ago when everybody was in the house during COVID, you set those high expectations still. Now that everybody's back outside, and yeah, you're not going to hit those marks because those were unrealistic marks. I keep saying it. They were unrealistic marks. When you had that freaking over hiring spree, when you just made up jobs, made up titles on the spot because you thought that this was going to be sustainable. Now everybody else has to deal with it. Now everybody else got to deal with the fallout. That's bullshit. I hate it. To a degree, if you're not making money, how is he supposed to pay it? I get that part. I do get that part, but again, it's going back to what I just said. Those unrealistic expectations are usually what leads to this. You're making unrealistic expectations, then you overhired. It's nobody's fault but the higher ups, because middle management can't make that decision. People at the bottom can't make that decision or those decisions. It's the executives and the CEO, the C-suite. It's nobody else that can be involved but y'all, but they're not going to take accountability for it. They're just going to try to right their wrongs by firing everybody else. And that's not fair. That's not fair because y'all made terrible expectations and y'all didn't budget correctly. I'm sorry. And what are you going to do about that, man? Nobody at the bottom can take accountability for that, or nor should they take accountability for that. So anyways, so here goes Pat. He said, our revenues have not grown as expected. Again, what I just said, expectations, but they are unrealistic expectations. And we've yet to fully benefit from powerful trends like AI. So you invested too much into AI as well, and yet we've yet to fully benefit from it. Okay. Our costs are too high and our margins are too low. We need bolder actions to address both. Bolder actions, particularly given our financial results and outlook for the second half of 2024, which is tougher than previously expected. Anyway, and then this article continues. So where did Intel's losses come from? And they said challenges faced by Intel Foundry. Intel also reported that a large reason for its losses were due to challenges it faced revolving around the Intel Foundry. In fact, the Intel Foundry segment does not expect to see profits until 2027 at the earliest. So you're going to take 3 years potentially of losses before you can see your profits from this Intel Foundry. Interesting. While Intel's traditional business seemed to be stable, it has still been impacted in recent days by heavy market demand for laptops and PCs. The company plans to produce a large amount of chips over the next year in hopes of competing with brands like AMD. So AMD on their tail. With a lowering share price and many other issues revolving around Intel as of late, we can only hope to see the company bounce back and that no more hardworking employees lose their job, man. 15,000. That's just crazy. Like we're seeing 1,000 people, you know, maybe as high as 5,000, but 15,000, man, that's taking it way too far. I mean, 15,000 people don't. Shame. All right. Well, like I said, every time I read about this stuff, it makes me mad, especially since, you know, my wife has to unfortunately deal with this stuff, and she really had to deal with it since COVID started. So like this really like hits home for me. It really hits home for me. Anyway, let's move on. Avowed, you know, remember the game Avowed? It got delayed until 2025. And in the latest newsletter, Tom Warren said that the game is being delayed slightly from fall 2024 to early 2025. As far as a reason, Warren says it has nothing to do with the game's developmental status. Interesting. And he says, I understand Avowed is in good shape. This is more a matter of wanting to give the game breathing room outside of a very busy period for Xbox Game Pass. As the publishing Obsidian has yet to make an official announcement of the delay, however, that is expected to come in the near future. Obsidian was originally slated to release Avowed this fall, with a November release date recently being leaked. That date was never confirmed, leaving this window open for a delay should they need it. So, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know how many people were looking for Avowed, but you're not gonna get it at the end of this year anymore. So we will see, maybe first quarter of 2025. But that's that. And then final bit of news before we watch a gameplay trailer. But Game Informer, we talked about this earlier in the stream, but Game Informer says farewell. And Game Informer really has a special place in my heart. It was actually like outside of when I got cable and I started watching G4 TV, Game Informer was pretty much like my only source of video game news. I read those magazines religiously. I went to GameStop all the time. I got the subscription. I got the magazines, came to my house. And that was my source of figuring out when things were coming out. What was the game? What were these games that they were talking about? And, you know, even seeing like the cheats at the end of the magazine. Like we always seen like some dope covers or whatever new game was on the horizon. Like it was a great time. It was definitely a great time. And Game Informer definitely kept me informed. They really did keep me informed back in the day, man. Back in the day. Yeah, like those magazines were crack, man. I wish I would have kept on magazines. I don't know what I did with them. I may actually still have them. I don't think I gave them to anybody. They might still be in my mom's house, to be honest. They might still be in my mom's house. I need to check. Because I definitely had a stack. I had a stack of magazines. I need to go and like ask my mom, or like next time I go back home, see if my mom still got them. So they said, after 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may your gaming adventures never end. So, and I saw this, man. I was so sad. So sad. Yeah, PSM magazines. Yes, sir. Them demo discs. Oh, man. Good times. this was definitely a good era for me, man. Like, and I know that the internet and coming through YouTube and actually writing on websites ultimately made magazines irrelevant, or at least gaming magazines. A lot of other magazines too, magazines are still obviously being published, but that was really like the start of the downfall of Game Informer and other magazines that did hard covers. A lot of them did have to pivot to online or YouTube. So some of them were successful in doing that, but Game Informer, even though they tried to as well, but they just didn't. They didn't hit the same. They didn't hit the same. There's a lot more competition. People like us, like the gamers who made like their own conglomerates, their own studios, their own organizations to essentially do the same thing, report on gaming news. It was just way too much competition. So like, already hardcovers were on its way out. That was already declining at a steady rate. But just, ultimately and it's funny because like there is still a war on real gaming journalism. So a lot of these YouTubers and content creators think that they're more relevant, think that their voices are louder than like some of these long established companies that still do traditional journalism. So there's still a war out there. And again, Game Informer just unfortunately after 33 years, I mean, just had to call it quits. You have to call it quits. But 33 years is a very long time. It's 3 decades. That's 3 decades. Y'all don't know nothing about them or this. Facts. So it sucks. It's a sad day. I forgot they were even still around, to be honest, because I can't remember the last time I read something or saw something from Game Informer. Like the only other real traditional journalism like platform that everybody still kind of paid attention to is IGN. That's really like the only one. Like there's still other one like GameSpot is still around. GameSpot is still around, but even I feel like they're not as relevant as they used to be. So it's really just IGN that people still like either pay attention to either like what they have to say about video games or just make fun of them. So take your pick. They're still around. They're still relevant. And I mean GameSpot to a degree, but like it's very few, far in between. Like a lot of people do just listen to YouTubers now. They do just listen to YouTubers and whoever else has a microphone, has a platform that can. It said man, I used to be on GameFAQs all the time, bro. GameFAQs back in the day was definitely my. I stayed on GameFAQs, bro. I stayed on GameFAQs. So I'm not saying that they're not around, but again, we talking about relevant, like who's still like super relevant in the overall sphere of gaming. So yeah, I forgot that they were still around, man. But yeah, it sucks. But RP to Game Informer. Now we're the last GI. We're the last GI still standing, man. We are the last GI still standing. So Game Informer was first, man. They walk so we can run. So we would do y'all proud, man. We gonna do y'all proud, Game Informer. So let's go and play the song. Y'all already know. We gotta play the song and send them out. Send them out gratefully. Gotta send them out gratefully.
Why the fuck you?
Ooh, that's the wrong way. My bad.
I really miss my nigga. Just a breakdown. Really miss my nigga. White people.
Sad, man. Sad. But yeah, man. RP Game Informer. Definitely some good times. Definitely some great times. Great times in gaming in my early gaming days. Definitely kept me informed for sure. All right. Last bit of news here, man. It's basketball season again today. I know I messed up. I hit the road. But yeah, it's basketball season again, and I'm seeing a shift here. Even though 2K is still the only basketball game out here. We'll see what happens with that NBA Street game. I forgot what it was called when we saw that trailer. But yeah, 2K25, all the trailers and stuff are coming out, and I'm seeing a shift here. I'm seeing people finally. I'm like, will this finally be the year where 2K, it doesn't have a shackle, doesn't have a stranglehold on gamers who just want to ball out. Will this finally be the year? I'm seeing multiple people be like, man, this don't look nothing near next gen. This look like the same stuff. This look like the same stuff from last year. I'm like, well, you could say that about 24 looking like 23, 23 looking like 22, 22 looking like 21, and we can just keep going. Like, I don't know how it took to 2025, 2K25 for y'all to finally notice, but I'm like, man, get it through your head, man. Get it through your head. Is this finally the year, man? It took y'all long enough to finally figure it out. But let's watch this trailer and see all the lies that they go give us. Over 9,000 animations, y'all. A new dribble engine. Ooh, new dribble engine. What's that? Dribble gods. Precise stops and explosive launches. Authentic signature movement. Dynamically generated motions. Like signature shots we've already had. You can already shoot like everybody. All you gotta do is just pick it. So what are we talking about? Advanced pro stick shooting mechanic. It's advanced this year, y'all. Signature go-to shots. Y'all want to shoot like Jamal Murray? Oh, a new defensive movement system. Hello. Skill-based defensive cutoffs, tighter controls, new motion styles. Oh, we got rhythm shooting. Lifelike shot accuracy and authenticity. Lifelike shot accuracy. Seamless dribble to shot controls. Y'all like this here, man? Look at that. Look at that. All right, already got Bronny in there. Look. They had to do it, right? They had to put Bronny in there. Whatever, man. Pre-order to play up to 2 days early. You already know. All the 2K YouTubers, they're going to pre-order. They're going to spend $400 off rip before the game even comes out. like the dude, I was like, man, I'm like, the game now. Yeah, the boy spent $400 on PC. Oh man, that's what got me into the creator program on Twitter, man. All because that one tweet is saying make sure it was such a good series. Facts. So, oh man, it's gonna be the same old stuff. It's gonna be the same old stuff, I predict. But another year of me not buying a game. I've been done with 2K. The only way that it will bring me back is if they can prove that those servers actually work, and then I may consider it. They just have to prove that those servers work. I wanna play multiplayer exactly at the same speed with no lag, none of that stuff as I do when I'm playing my career. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But like I said, I'm good. 2K is a subscription game with extra stuff. No, facts. It really is like a live service game. They just have one every year because they have to. Because they gotta put the new the new scans in there. They got to put the new scans in there for the players. So that's all it really is, a live server. Yeah, it's a subscription based live service game. So it is what